Smash Brothers players, fighting game players, I'm going to tell you a little bit of Smash history. Now, people on TikTok are talking about how items should be in Smash. Again. I want to clear up a misconception. Items are not banned from Smash tournaments because they are unbalanced or unfair. In fact, they're not even banned from Smash tournaments because they're lol so random. Back in the day when Melee first got its competitive scene, people on the East Coast said that they should probably play with items. And it was this large debate about whether or not items should be allowed in the game because items were so central to Smash. And for a while, competing scenes basically had tournaments, some with items and some not. And there were some interesting positives to having tournaments with items. Items did change the gameplay in a very interesting way. But the final ruling on banning items had nothing to do with their random effects or their power. It had to do with the way that the game handled inputs. In Smash, your A-button attacks are the core of your character. Smash is a very neutral-heavy game. There's a lot of poking, there's a lot of spacing. Jabs and tilts are very important, and that's the problem with items. Because if an item spawns over your character, and you press the A button hoping to get a basic attack, you'll pick up the item instead. Which means there's basically a random chance for a dropped input in every match where items are turned on. A random chance to sit there and do nothing when you meant to attack the opponent. Doesn't that sound like something? Doesn't that sound like random tripping in Brawl, the thing that literally everyone hated? Pro players managed to work around items just fine, but the one thing that they couldn't work around was a random item spawning over them and eating their attack input. That, more than anything else, was an example of RNG basically deciding whether or not someone got to do the thing they wanted to do. And that's why it was decided that items should not be allowed in competitive Smash. Not because Pokeballs were super powerful, not because certain items let you heal, it was all down to one simple thing. You couldn't have a competitive match that determined who had the higher skill when the game could decide to eat your inputs. And this is an input problem that has been in Smash to this day, so every time the issue gets revisited, the same conclusion is come to.